If Shakespeare was alive today, he would say that there's something rotten in Dubai. Today we're not going to talk about the beautiful Dubai with luxury cars, 5-star hotels, exclusive parties, well, the Dubai that everyone knows thanks to all the influencers that show off their lifestyle over there. Why not talking about money laundering, organized crime and human trafficking? In practice, the real stuff that built this metropolis. So let's analyze some of the most disturbing aspects of Dubai. Of all the cities in the 7 states in the Emirates, with Abu Dhabi as capital, Dubai is the most developed of all. Today, the country is at the 9th place of GDP per capita, thanks to the increase of investments and the explosion of the oil business in the recent decades. Before the 60s, when oil discoveries intensified, the United Arab Emirates were only an economically depressed wasteland and Dubai an anonymous fishing village. In the early 70s, with the end of the British Protectorate and the increased capitals for the oil extraction, the 7 Emirates experienced an unbelievable economic expansion. Today, out of the 6 ruling families, the Dubai one, Al Maktoum, is the most influential. Al Maktoum family has a key role in the country today, controlling Emirates Airlines, National Television, Ministry of Finance and the University of Dubai, etc. etc. It's normal that when a single family controls a whole state apparatus, there's a higher risk of the country supporting with more indulgence criminal activities. For example, the Dubai financial market, the main national stock exchange, played a key role in the $1 billion that the Pakistan trafficker Altaf Kanani, in close relations with the royal family, laundered from the drug and weapons market. Nowadays, the lack of transparency in the country is controlled by the main political actors. The vice president Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, his son Adnan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, and Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Emir of Abu Dhabi and president of the whole country. Unlike Abu Dhabi, which holds 90% of oil resources, Dubai has based its economy on post-oil paradigm, finance and the hospitality sector. After 1991, Dubai overtook Abu Dhabi as the richest emirate thanks to its economic diversification that was not based only on the oil business. From there, Dubai expanded like wildfire with the high skyscrapers, luxurious hotels, artificial island, and the most advanced futuristic projects in the world. What most of us don't know though is that almost all of the buildings lack natural water resources, an adequate waste disposal and a real sewer system. In fact, despite the luxury and avant-garde appearance, Dubai still makes use of rudimentary structures such as pit latrines, a serious engineering backwards, which causes straight miles of purging trucks to and from the city. To quench the thirst of millions of Dubai inhabitants, the water is filtered through comprehensive desalination system. This process requires so much energy that it generates 4 tons of carbon dioxide, helping to make the Emirates the 6th country for CO2 emissions. But the problems of Dubai are way more deep and obscure. One example is the essence of Dubai, which is to be a global financial center. Despite the big facade brands, the city is a magnet for dirty money. Much of what underlies at the basement of Dubai's wealth is a constant and hidden flow of illicit money generated by corruption and crime. The luxury on which Dubai was built does not come from oil, but from corruption. To be clear, corruption, crime and money laundering happens in all of the world. But the merit of Dubai was to do it in the light of the sun and indeed to make it spectacular. The ease of conducting business has brought with it a whole host of corrupt and criminal individuals from all the corners of the world. Warlords, Russian gangsters, Nigerian kleptocrats, European tax evaders, gold smugglers from the Horn of Africa, etc. Then the real estate boom of 2000 served as a magnet for dirty money. Built to attract foreign investors, the Emirates is full of luxurious villas and apartments in the shore of the Gulf. Huge real estate holdings with billions of dollars worth of revenue accept without any concerns big sum of money from investors that choose the Dubai real estate market as the perfect sector to launder dirty money from illegal activities. As we said earlier, this happens in all of the world, but Dubai there's no need to check the origin of the money or the investor's business. Fostering this permissive mentality was the absence of a long financial history that has instead distinguished more important markets such as London, New York or Tokyo. What most industrialized city reached in a century, Dubai reached it in only 20 years. From 42 hotels in 1990, in 2019 the city counted more than 700 hotels. From a city without airstrip in the 1960s, today the Dubai airport is one of the busiest hubs in the world. Do real estate business in Dubai is super easy. To buy a $300,000 house, you need only a 1-year visa. This attracts a lot of Chinese and Russians. Chinese people register more than 4,000 companies in the country, while the Russians explored other areas as the organized crime. For its strategic position in the Middle East, Dubai always had fame to be tied with different trafficking, as opiates from Afghanistan's slaves until Saudis abolished slavery in the 60s, and weapons. Some examples are the former Liberian dictator Charles Taylor, who used Dubai multiple times in the 90s as weapons supply center. Russian trafficker Viktor Bout used Dubai as operational base for his cargo aircraft fleet, and the Taliban moved a lot of money and gold from Afghanistan through Dubai. Given its proximity, Dubai has played an important part in favoring the trafficking of nuclear components to Iran as well. What makes Dubai a particularly attractive destination for illicit financial flows are its 30 free trade areas, where without adequate controls the regulations are completely absent. In these areas don't exist corporate, individual or custom rates. It's possible to create companies of foreign ownership, and the repatriation of the money does not need any type of taxation. Even the real estate market is being infected with these illegal activities. In fact, the 30% of Dubai real estate market is being generated from dirty money. For example, the actual Azerbaijan president owns a real estate portfolio of $75 million, which is weird for his salary that amounts to $220,000 a year. Another plug that swells the coffers of Dubai is the sale of gold. The Emirates import gold of dubious origin from more than 100 countries, mainly from Africa, so probably extracted from local armed militias that export it to finance their wars. Dubai doesn't follow any tracking standard for gold, and merchants accept gold from anywhere in the world, accepting and registering it as waste materials. The gold is then re-exported in Switzerland or India, the two main buyers of Dubai's gold market. From the smuggling of gold, we cannot forget the human trafficking problem affecting Dubai. 90% of Dubai population consists of foreigners, most of them being low-income workers from India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. The country economy is strongly tied to foreign labor. The flow of workers is regulated by a system of private sponsor called kafala. The most of these new slaves in Dubai works in the building sector. The kafala system ensures that workers remain tied to the employer in a system that remembers feudalism, requesting a $1,000 fee upon arrival in the country. Under the pretext of providing employee with a visa and an airline ticket, the employers themselves define the amount of the salary. Often they don't pay, and when they do, they make sure it's very low. The first few months are needed to repay the debt, and if the unlucky employee finds a better job, the visa is cancelled and declared expired. The sentence for this is 6 months of prison and $4,000 fine, an equivalent of 1 year of work for a construction worker that earns around $300 a month. Without a regular visa and with limited access to a mobile phone, it's impossible to leave the country. This makes the Emirates a prison state for many workers. After 12 hours of work in deadly heat, workers are picked up by company shuttles and driven like beastly wagons into open-air slums set up by the various companies, where a life of squalor awaits them.